Hello, everyone. This is Rose. Today's topic from the Book of Life is Let's Straighten It Out. Dude, you broke the boy code. You need to holler at your boy. Let's take a look at this short story from the Book of Life. Dwight and Gerald have been friends since their freshman year in high school. Both played high school sports. Dwight acquired a love for baseball from his father. Dwight's father once dreamed of playing professional baseball. However, his father's dreams were shattered when Dwight's grandfather became ill and his father had to drop out of high school to work. Dwight's father worked odd jobs in his teen years to support his parents and siblings. Dwight's father found a job in the automotive industry when he married Dwight's mother. When Dwight was a child, him and his father would often go to the White Sox baseball games. In high school, Dwight's father influenced him to play baseball in hope of his son becoming a professional baseball player. Dwight loved baseball. However, he did not love it as a career choice. He did not want to become a professional athlete. In high school, Gerald was appointed captain of the basketball team. Gerald and his coach observed Dwight's skills on the field during baseball season. They felt he would be a great asset as a basketball player because of his height, his upper body strength on hitting the ball out of the park, and his speed in running. Gerald and his coach tried to recruit Dwight. Although Dwight declined the offer, him and Gerald formed a friendship. They became close friends. Both were lead players in their field. Throughout school, the girls would chase after them. On several occasions, they found themselves romantically involved with the same girls. They decided, like boys do, young boys in high school, they decided to come up with a boy code in dating girls within their circle. They created a dating chart similar to a family tree. Dwight's name was on the left side of the chart, and of course, Dwayne's name had to be on the other side. Gerald's name had to be on the other side of the chart. So the way the chart went, beneath Dwight's name, there were 3 color categories. A girl name listed in the red category means the relationship is currently or once was serious, and therefore this girl is off limit to Gerald dating. A girl name listed in the yellow category means the relationship was romantically fun but not serious. It's okay if Gerald chooses to date a girl listed in the yellow category. A girl name listed in the green category means it is a talking only relationship with the potential to becoming something more. So therefore, Gerald is not allowed to talk to a girl in the green category under Dwight's name because the relationship can potentially become a red or a yellow. Now, if it become a red, no touching her. If it become a yellow, you go for it. Gerald's name was, as mentioned, on the right side of the chart with the same 3 color categories beneath his name, having the same meaning as on the white side of the chart. Throughout high school, the dating chart worked well for them both. Young boys, what can you say? As the 2 friends were approaching graduation, They vowed to remain friends and continue to follow the rules of the dating chart they created. Gerald was drafted to play professional basketball. Because of Dwight's fascination with computers and its infrastructure, he enrolled in a trade tech college to study information technology, IT. During the first week of attending college, Dwight was amazed to see the same 5 female students enrolled in many of his courses. He assumed that IT, information technology, was a predominantly trade for men only. What would make a woman select this trade, thought Dwight. Anyhow, it's good to have someone other than men to look at during class. Dwight was very impressed with his classmate Stephanie. She was a very active student who engaged in answering the instructor questions and also asking many questions for clarity purposes. Also, he was very impressed with her knowledge and ability to retain what she was learning. Dwight decided he wanted to get to know Stephanie on a personal basis. He was attracted to her beauty and to her intelligence. She would be a good person to study with, thought Dwight. One day, after attending the last class of the day with Stephanie, Dwight decided to approach her. Excuse me, your name is Stephanie, correct? Yes, that is correct, said Stephanie with a smile on her face. She thought Dwight's approach was cute. I notice you and I have several classes together. Therefore, I want to see if you are looking for a study partner or someone in class who can keep you in the know by sharing notes in case you miss a day, you are absent. Stephanie paused for a brief moment. She was trying to feel him out, see what he was up to. So she paused before she spoke. Well, I'm not looking for a study partner. I do pretty well on my own. However, it would be good to have someone to share notes with in case one of us is absent. Then she asked him, she said, would you like to exchange email addresses for the purpose of sharing notes? Sure, that would be great, states Dwight. After exchanging email addresses, Stephanie thought for a quick minute, then tells Dwight, hey, look, if you feel having a study partner would bring clarity to certain topics discussed in class, I would be happy to go over the class lecture notes with you. Dwight was happy to hear Stephanie accept his offer. Although he understood she did not agree to a study routine, at least she agreed to discuss complicated topics with him. Sounds good, states Dwight. 2 weeks after Dwight and Stephanie agreed to discuss complicated topics by reviewing the classroom lectures together, Dwight emailed Stephanie on a Wednesday asking if they can meet at the library on Saturday to discuss the network infrastructure. He needed clarity on routers, switches, hubs, repeaters, gateways, bridges, and modems hardware. In taking notes, he believed he crisscrossed the information provided by the teacher when describing the functions of each hardware. Stephanie agreed to meet with Dwight at 1 p.m. Both were impressed with each other's promptness. They were on time, okay? Dwight brought his A game. He came to work. The two were engaged as they were seriously engaged and focused on what they were doing on the classroom topics. They were so focused on their discussions and they were so into this IT infrastructure. They were able to learn a lot from each other. Stephanie was impressed with Dwight's knowledge and understanding of the material. She feels Dwight is a person who second guesses himself, causing him to question what he knows. Studying with him gave her a new perspective as to who he is as a person. She was happy she accepted his offer to study together. They both couldn't believe 5 hours has passed so swiftly. Dwight offers to buy Stephanie dinner. He lets her know that he is not trying to come between her and any significant other she might have in her life. Therefore, he offers to pay for a takeout or have a Uber Eats deliver food to her home or take her to a restaurant of her choice. He was leaving the door open for her to choose what she wanted. He was just grateful and wanted to show his appreciation. Stephanie giggled. She felt Dwight was being considerate and polite in the way he worded buying her dinner. She thought it was so cute. She tells him, "It's okay. We can have dinner together." She states, "Any restaurant is good with me. I'm open." Stephanie giggled and replied caused Dwight to giggle. When he saw she was giggling, it was contagious. He had to giggle as well. Dwight chose a restaurant near the library that specialized in seafood, chicken, and steak. He figured he couldn't go wrong if they specialize in all three of those. She has to like at least one of those. Stephanie left her car at the library. She felt it would be safe because the library stays open 24 hours on Wednesdays through Saturdays. She rode with Dwight to the restaurant. The first thing Stephanie noticed was that Dwight was a gentleman. He opened doors for her, made sure she was secure in her seatbelt before driving off, and he pulled out her chair for her at the restaurant. In addition to enjoying the delicious food, they enjoyed each other's company. They talked for hours, leaving the restaurant at 10:30 p.m. As Dwight drives Stephanie back to the library to get in her car, he asks if they could do this again in the near future. Stephanie replied with yes. Dwight asked Stephanie if she would like for him to follow her home to make sure she was safe. Stephanie stated she lives only 15 minutes away from the library. She promised to text him once she was secure in her home. Stephanie and Dwight became very close, studying together and going out to dinner together. The relationship remained platonic for the entire school year. Once finals were over and they both passed, the relationship became intimate after a night of celebrating together. At the start of summer break, Gerald returned home for a visit. He wants to spend time with family and friends before basketball training begins for the next season. His parents rent a hall and throws him an extravagant party. Approximately 300 people received an invite with a +1. Because Gerald was well known as one of the lead players on his basketball team, His parents made sure the venue was well secured with security. Each person who RSVP'd with their +1 name and picture was entered into a database. The database was used at the venue entrance to match name and picture ID of each person attending before entering the venue. Mama was not taking any chances her baby boy was going to be safe. Stephanie attends as Dwight +1. She loves basketball and was excited about meeting her favorite team rookie player, Gerald. She was surprised that Dwight had not told her he is friends with a star basketball player before inviting her as his +1. Gerald and Dwight were happy to see each other. They embraced in a man hug for a few seconds. Stephanie could see based on their greeting they were best of friends. She was shaking her shoes when Dwight introduced her to Gerald. She kept grinning and expressing that she was a big fan of his. Dwight, being one of Gerald's closest friends, was assigned to sit at his family table with Stephanie. Gerald was mesmerized by Stephanie's beauty. He asked his friend to take a walk with him. So he asked Dwight to take a walk with him. Dwight turns and asks Stephanie if she would be okay alone for a few minutes at the table while he walked with Gerald to the other side of the room. Stephanie replies, "Yes, I will be fine." She watched the two friends walk away and wonder what is that all about. She just figured, okay, maybe they want to catch up. No big deal. Gerald complimented Dwight on his grown man taste in women. No more high school stuff. He tells Dwight she is nothing like what we used to date in high school. "No, she isn't," replied Dwight. "So tell me," states Gerald, "how serious are you two, according to our high school dating chart?" "Man, she is a red in my book," states Dwight. "Although I haven't asked her to be my exclusive girlfriend, it has been her and I and no one else for nearly a year." "Red tells me you two are sexually intimate," replies Gerald. "Yeah, man, we are," Dwight states with a grin on his face. Dwight asked Gerald, was he dating anyone? "No, man, it's too soon in the game for me to be seriously dating. The women are lined up for ball players. When I am finished playing the field, I will find someone special to settle down with. In the meantime, game on." Both began to laugh at Gerald's statement. "Well, man," states Gerald, "it's good seeing you. I hope you don't mind me asking your girl to dance. I would like to get to know who my friend is smitten over." "No harm in dancing," states Dwight. Both heads back to the table. After dinner was served and eaten, everyone began to enjoy dessert with drinks and dancing. Gerald comes around the table and asks Stephanie to dance. Stephanie looks at Dwight for approval. Dwight nods his head. They both dance to a fast dance. Gerald and Stephanie, the first dance was a fast dance. As they were walking off the dance floor, a slow song began to play. Before they can get off the dance floor, Gerald grabbed Stephanie by the hand and pulled her back onto the dance floor. Gerald noticed that Dwight was looking in their direction, but he proceeded to continue to dance slow with Stephanie. Dwight noticed that Gerald is doing a lot of talking in Stephanie's ear as they slow dance. Dwight was happy when the song ended. As the party was coming to an end, Dwight asked Stephanie if she was ready to go. At this point, approximately 75 people was left at the venue and appeared to be collecting their things to leave. Stephanie stated that she was ready to leave. Dwight excused himself for a minute to go to the men's restroom before the long ride home. Stephanie had just come back from the women's restroom and expressed to Dwight that she would be sitting right there waiting for him. Gerald sees his opening as Dwight walks away. He goes over to Stephanie and tells her that he wants to plan a surprise birthday party for his friend in the next 2 months. He stated that he would need help in planning the surprise. He asked her if she could assist in bringing Dwight to the surprise party. Stephanie agrees to assist. Gerald and Stephanie exchanged phone numbers before Dwight returned from the bathroom. Gerald started calling Stephanie on a daily basis, talking to her about the party and chatting with her personally. Stephanie was so excited about talking to a star basketball player like they were old friends, she wanted to shout it to the world. But she couldn't in fear of Dwight finding out about the surprise. She knew him finding out would ruin the surprise. Stephanie felt the only person who would keep a secret would be her best friend Tracy. So Stephanie and Tracy, they would meet every Thursday at 4 p.m. for a game of tennis. Afterwards, they would shower and go to the local cafe for dinner. During dinner, Stephanie tells Tracy about meeting Dwight's best friend, Gerald. She explained to Tracy that Gerald needing her help in planning a surprise party for Dwight. She also tells Tracy about her and Gerald's conversations. Tracy being on the outside looking in, she shakes her head and she tells Stephanie, be careful. Be careful with Gerald, because she believes he likes her or he just simply wants to sleep with her. Why would you say that, Stephanie? The fact that you have to ask me why I would say that leads me to believe he already has your attention. No man should be talking to his best friend girlfriend about the personal things you two talk about. It's clearly a setup. Stephanie wished she had never said anything to Tracy. She felt Tracy was hating because a star basketball player was talking to her. 2 days after having dinner with Tracy, Stephanie receives a call from Gerald. He asked Stephanie if she could store some gifts for Dwight at her house. Gerald claimed he did not feel comfortable with having expensive gifts in his room at the hotel. Stephanie thought it sounded strange. She asked Gerald why he wasn't staying at his parents' home. Gerald stated that he did not want to draw attention to his parents' home. Therefore, he decided to stay in a suite at the 5-star hotel. Stephanie felt relaxed with his explanation. She knew the girls was after him and he wanted to keep his parents' home private and quiet. So she rationalized it within her own mind. As Stephanie was giving her address to Gerald, he interrupted her by saying, "No, wait. I don't want to take a chance in running into Dwight at your place. Can you come to the hotel around 7 p.m. today?" Stephanie thought to herself, I guess it would be okay. It's a public place. Okay, replied Stephanie. I will see you at 7 p.m. 5 minutes after Stephanie arrives at Gerald's suite, room servant knocks on the door. Gerald tells Stephanie that he took the liberty of ordering dinner for them both. He states it's the least he can do for her coming to pick up Dwight's gifts. Stephanie could see two small gift-wrapped boxes sitting on the table. She thought to herself, what could be in those boxes? They are so small. Her thoughts were interrupted by Gerald asking her would she have dinner with him. Sure, states Stephanie. I'm here. I might as well join you for dinner. Gerald pours Stephanie a spritzer to drink with her dinner. Gerald had ordered lobster tails, sauteed shrimp with asparagus, and baby red potatoes. After dinner, Gerald pours Stephanie another spritzer. Stephanie begins to feel a little woozy. She couldn't understand why 2 drinks would cause her to feel so woozy. Stephanie declined a third drink. She thought if she sits for a minute, just for a few minutes, she would be okay to drive. She remembers Gerald putting on music. The remaining time she was in Gerald's suite was like a dream to her. She remembered brief moments of her being in bed with him, also taking a shower. She wakes up on Gerald's couch 5 hours after she had arrived. She was fully clothed, but however, she was confused. She was going, did I have a dream? Why do I remember these things briefly? Gerald comes out of his bedroom wearing a robe. Hey, sleepyhead, you finally woke up. Are you okay? Stephanie looks at Gerald strangely before replying. What happened? What do you mean what happened? Replied Gerald. You fell asleep. Do you need me to call you an Uber or are you okay to drive? Stephanie tells Gerald that she was okay to drive. The next day, Stephanie calls her friend Tracy. She had to go back to Tracy, who gave her some wisdom. She calls Tracy to tell her about what happened. Tracy pushes Stephanie to tell Dwight. She encouraged her, you have to tell Dwight. Stephanie was scared to tell Dwight, but decided it was best he hears it from her. Dwight comforts Stephanie the best way he could. He kept telling her that it was not her fault. Dwight opens the gift Stephanie had brought back from Gerald. Just as he figured, inside was empty boxes filled with paper. Dwight went to the hotel to confront Gerald. He was livid. He was so upset and angry. Upon arrival, he finds out Gerald had checked out. So Dwight rushed over to Gerald's parents' house. Dwight, when he arrived, he noticed Gerald was leaving his parents' house and all of a sudden had 2 bodyguards by his side. When Dwight tried to run up on Gerald, the bodyguards held him back. Dwight, so angry, he just began to yell at Gerald, shouting, "Why, man, why? Why would you do that to my girl when you have women chasing after you because of who you are as a player? Why do this to me and my girl?" Gerald looked his friends in his eyes, then tell him, "Don't hate the player, hate the game." Dwight was hurt. However, he knew he had to support Stephanie in any way he could. Click the thumbs up and the subscribe button. Be blessed. Be safe. Peace, everyone. Remember to click that thumbs up button.